What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean bro. Today is 2022, April, not April, it's June 3rd. Okay, let's go to the latest articles. Okay, first, I'm going to look up on marketbeat.com because I barely had any time to look at it last night. So let's see, what do we have? Investing in Chewy will require more than one earnings report. Alibaba Group rallying on fundamentals improved macro backdrop. Chinese tech stocks such as Alibaba Group have faced a number of headwinds recently that have negatively affected the company's stock prices. U.S. added 390,000 jobs in May as hiring remained robust. Wall Street pointed lower with eye on May jobs report. Envoy said U.S. allies preparing for North Korea nuclear tests. So South President Joe Biden, special envoy for North Korea, said Friday the United States is preparing for all contingencies in close coordination with its South, reshaping in-game experiences where Web3 comes in. Today's stock market news and events: Okta on verge of a multi-week rally. Xiaomi.co facing macro headwinds. Is it time to buy people stock? Okta on verge of multi-week rally. These are three most upgrade stocks for a quarter second. Three outperforming energy stocks with more in the tank. Three beaten down stocks the insiders are buying. China demands U.S. stocks trade talks with Taiwan. Where are the next small cap opportunities? As long as short interest remains high, the overall view of Chewy stock is cloudy. Shareholders in Chewy are getting some relief from the relentless sell-off in the stock. In late day trading, Chewy stock is up 23.8% on the back of a strong earnings report. The online retailer of all things pet related not only beat expectations for earnings per share, but they posted a surprise profit, coming in at 3 cents per share. There is a bullish revenue story emerging. For what it's worth, the company cited internal data to show that between the first year and fifth year of being a customer, the customer's total spend increased from $200 to $700. That means NSPOC number is likely to continue to move higher. This is where things get cloudy. Chewy. Yahoo Finance. Let's look up on Chewy. Okay, Chewy. What is Chewy? What is Chewy? What is Chewy? Chewy. 12% up by Upstart Holdings. Chewy. Chewy is Chewy. CHWY. Its ticker is Chewy. Alibaba Group rallying on fundamentals improved the macro backdrop. Chinese tech stocks such as Alibaba Group have faced a number of headwinds recently that have negatively affected the company's stock prices. These headwinds included regulatory pressures and China's links with Russia. Regulatory pressures, and China's links with Russia. The Hang Seng China Enterprise Index, which tracks Chinese shares traded in Hong Kong, is currently down 9.42% year to date, with tech giants Alibaba Group and Tencent Holdings leading the decline. Adding to the uncertainty around Chinese tech stocks is the fear of additional U.S. sanctions. Despite these fears, Alibaba Group is performing well on its fundamentals, and some analysts are taking a bullish stance on the company due to these factors. Fundamentals. China's crackdown on tech stock is easing. Alibaba Group repurchases shares. Alibaba Group technical analysis. Should you invest $1,000 in Alibaba Group right now? Before you consider Alibaba Group, you will want to hear this. Market B keeps track of Wall Street's top rated. Well, hmm. Alibaba Group is currently down 19.74% year to date and trades 49% below the market beat consensus price target. Since the company is severely underperforming analyst expectations, this could be seen as the company is undervalued at its current levels. Some investors took note of these shares for the company increased to 15% after it posted its earnings results for quarter four, showing that it convincingly beat revenue and earnings estimates. When moving down the company's operating segments, we can see where the strength of the company is. Alibaba Group's e-commerce segment, which contributes to 69% of the company's total revenue, is going strong. Revenues from this segment grew 88% year over year to 140.3 billion Chinese yuan. US added wow, 24% up. What is Chewy? Chewy. Profile. Consumer cyclical. Internet retail. Chewy.com. Together with its subsidiaries, engages in the pure play e-commerce business in the United States. The company provides pet food and treats, pet supplies and pet medications and other pet health products, as well as pet services for dogs, cats, fish, birds, small pets, horses, reptiles through its www.chewy.com retail website, as well as its mobile applications. It offers approximately 100,000 products from 3,000 partner brands. The company was founded in 2010 and is headquartered in Dania Beach, Florida. Chewy.com. So this company mostly deals with pet food. Chewy. U.S. added 390,000 jobs made as hiring remained robust. 24% which is crazy. 21,300. Okay, Griffin Road, Dania Beach, Florida, United States. U.S. employers added a healthy 390,000 jobs in May, extending a streak of solid hiring that has bolstered an economy under pressure from high inflation and interest rates. Last month's gain reflects a still healthy job market, despite concerns that the economy will weaken in the coming months as the Federal Reserve steadily raises rates to fight inflation. 7 tech stocks that will lead the way in 2022. The end of 2021 and the initial trading days of 2022 have been rough for tech stocks. The prospect of multiple interest rate hikes has investors fleeing to risk off assets, including stocks, and that means some of the biggest tech stocks may have further to fall. But for growth investors, tech remains a sector to be in. Some appealing stocks have dropped 15% or more from their 2021 highs. That means it's inevitable that some savvy buyers will be moving in to buy their favorite names at a discounted price. However, price doesn't always equal value, you know. Some stocks have sold off and may never recover their previous level. Those are tough lessons for investors to learn. However, in this presentation, we're looking at seven tech stocks that have strong business cases to support their recovery, even as other tech stocks may struggle. We think all of these stocks are strong buying candidates. However, we encourage you to do your due diligence to decide when the price is right for you. You know, your shaping in-game experiences where Web3 comes in. Anyone that has been on the internet in the last year has probably come across the term Web3. For those not in the know, um, Web3 is essentially the next generation of the internet. It is a key aspect of the much touted metaverse alongside other emerging technologies such as blockchain, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, 5G, and the Internet of Things. Proponents of Web3 argue that the technology will assure, in an era of decentralization whose hallmark will be user owned content and permissionless transactions. Of course, there remains a fair way to go before Web3 becomes fully functional and accessible to the general public, but the effects of the technology are already becoming manifest in a few sectors. Web3 impact already being felt in the gaming industry. One of these spaces Web3 is expected to impact profoundly is the gaming industry. Video games and digital play spaces with Web3 characteristics already exist, with the best examples being Axie Infinity and Decentraland. Decentraland is a three-dimensional world where players can explore museums and art houses and buy and develop virtual real estate. Another example of Web3 gaming is the increasingly popular fantasy football game Swirl. In this game, players can use cryptocurrencies to buy cards of professional footballers from major leagues around the world. Cards in the games comes in varying degrees of scarcity, and the rarer the card, the greater its value. The game also has a marketplace where players can buy and sell cards. A rare card depicting Manchester United strike Cristiano Ronaldo was recently sold for more than $400,000 in Sorel. Web3 will change monetization in gaming. Previously, video game publishers mostly made their money from sales of physical or digital copies of their games, plus whatever associated merchandise they could conjure up. As for players, the only benefit they got from games was largely the enjoyment they derived from playing. Gamers spent bucket loads of money on game titles, in-game items, and even additional downloadable content. However, these games and whatever in-game item players bought often lost whatever value they had seen as soon as the player finished or grew tired of the game since they never really owned anything they bought in the game. Web3 gaming communities are the future. New principles to guide the Web3 gaming space. Okta on the verge of multi-week rally. After a vicious sell-off, they saw shares of identity software company Okta fall 70% from not last November to last month. They're finally looking like they're ready to turn around. Okta, it's one that I use to 15% up. Hmm. Oh, definitely. If I had much money, then I would have probably gone into this one. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. They're finally looking like they're ready to turn around. Investors have to go all the way back to January to find a run of two green wicks in a row, and even those were unconvincing. But assuming yesterday's 10% jump will be sustained, if not betted, into this evening's close, they'll have their best looking pair of weekly candles since last year. While we are all familiar with rising inflation and interest rates being the primary reasons for aggressive selling, We're all familiar with rising inflation and interest rates being the primary reasons for the aggressive selling. The reason for this week's jump is a bit more specific to Okta themselves. Hmm. But we're all familiar with rising inflation and interest rate being the primary reasons for the aggressive selling. The reason for this week's jump is a bit more specific to Okta themselves. The company's quarter first earnings were released after last night's bell and shocked investors in the best way. Impressive numbers. For starters, the deep loss expected on the bottom line print wasn't nearly as bad, while top line revenue ours came in much better than expected. Unsurprisingly, their shares were already trending higher yesterday in anticipation of the report and finished up on impressive 10%. Massive upside. No one see and his team reiterate their bond rating at the time, a move that echoed that of the Morgan Stanley team. Hmm. It's a pity that I got not much money. Hmm. Provides identity solutions for enterprises, small and medium-sized businesses, universities, nonprofits, and government agencies in the United States and internationally. The company offers Okta Identity Cloud, a platform that offers a suite of products and services, such as Universal Directory, a cloud-based system of record to store and secure user application and device profit profiles for an organization. Single sign-on that enables users to access application in the cloud or on-premise for from various devices. Adaptive multi-factor authentication provides a layer of security for a cloud. So, security company, hmm, so to say. Hmm. Small cap opportunities. Where does it lie? Three beaten down stocks. The insiders are buying. Insider grab shares of these beaten down stocks. Stocks open lower after May jobs report top estimates. A traveling sign emerges on the health of consumers. Traveling sign emerges on the health of consumers. Musk feels super bad about economy to cut 10% of Tesla jobs. Unemployment rate and at 3.6%. Economy adds 390,000 jobs in May. Nowhere else to go but up. But Gene Cramer likes his three mega cap tech stocks have been sounding shell lacked in 2022. Too strong by penny stocks, it could rally all the way to $30. Here are six stocks that pay a lot in dividends and have solid yields, and Microsoft and Apple. Dow Jones rallies on jobs report. Dow Jones rallies on jobs report. Facebook stock pops As Sheryl Sandberg quits, Facebook stocks pops. As Sheryl Sandberg quits, Microsoft fights back. Dow Jones rallies on jobs report. Um, the Dow is sleeping, Tesla is sliding. What else is happening? These two telecom stocks were buys, according to Buffett. The Snowflake stock of buy or sell amid software sector volatility has been cut in half. Why analysts see upside? Hmm. Amazon stock split. What did chart say ahead of 24-1 split? Gas price. A troubling sign emerges on the health of consumers. Stickers prices shock at the gas pump. May finally be breaking the back of the U.S. consumer. New data shows sticker price shocks at the gas pump. Sticker price shock at the gas pump may finally be breaking uh, the back of the U.S. consumer. New data shows sticker price shock at the gas pump may finally be breaking the back of the U.S. consumer. Current U.S. gasoline consumption levels are running 3% lower than a year ago and have been declining at a 3.53 to 5% clip the past 7 weeks. According to researchers at DataTrack noted that these declines were not the case prior to April 2022, suggesting that pain at the pump is affecting consumer behavior. Given that commuting is the single most common reason Americans drive, we would have that gas consumption would still be showing positive comps last year. Data track writes office occupancy was barely 20% at this point last year and is double that now. Uh, Lower gasoline consumption is therefore a troubling sign about overall consumer spending patterns. National average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas is at $4.76 as of Friday and above $5. Musk feels super bad about economy, needs to cut 10% of Tesla jobs. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has a super bad feeling about the economy and needs to cut about 10% of jobs at the electric car maker. He said in an email to executives seen by Reuters. The message sent on Thursday entitled Pause All Hiring Worldwide came 2 days after the billionaire told staff to return to the workplace or leave. That's to a growing course of warnings from business leaders about the risk of recession. About almost 100,000 people were employed at Tesla and its subsidiaries at the end of 2021. Its annual SEC filing showed the company was not immediately available for comment. Tesla shares fell nearly 5% in U.S. pre-market trade on Friday. Its Frankfurt-listed stock was down 3.6% after the Reuters report U.S. Nasdaq futures turned negative and were trading 1% lower. Musk has warned in recent weeks about the risk of recession, but his email ordering a hiring freeze and staff cuts was the most direct and high-profile message of its kind from the head of an automaker. So far, demand for Tesla cars and other electric vehicles has remained strong, and many traditional indicators of a downturn, including increasing dealer inventories and incentives in the United States, have not materialized. Hmm. Blah blah blah. A hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. It's right out there down the road coming our way. Inflation in the United States is hovering at 40-year highs and has caused a jump in the cost of living for Americans, while the Federal Reserve faces the difficult task of dampening demand enough to curb inflation while not. Hmm. Nowhere else to go, but Gene Cramer likes these three mega caps tech stocks that have soundly shell wrecked in 2022. Amazon, With the Nasdaq Composite down 24% year to date, sentiment towards tech stocks is far from bullish. It's hard to predict when the market will bottom, but CNBC's Jim Cramer sees big opportunity in the tech space. Um, while they may stay losers, the bottom line is they've fallen so darn far that I think they've become metaphors for a whole host of stocks. They're now ready to rally because they've got nowhere else to go but up, he said on Tuesday. Here's a look at each one of them. Meta Platforms, FB. Two strong buy penny stocks that could rally all the way to $30 or more. 89 Bio. The first penny stock we'll look at is 89 Bio, a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company focused on severe diseases of the hepatic and cardiometabolic systems. Marinos Pharmaceuticals. Now we'll turn to Marinos Pharma, a company laser focused on the treatment of seizure disorders. Has one drug candidate. These two telecom stocks are buys according to Buffalo, AT&T. What Wall Street thinks about Meta as Sheryl Sandberg moves on. CrowdStrike posts strong earnings and bullish guidance, but the stock slips. CrowdStrike. Micro stock is slumping after downgrade. Why the analyst fears the consumer? CrowdStrike quarterly earnings revenue jump but shares fall. Stock market today. If you invest $1,000 in reality income 5 years ago, here's how much you've had in dividends. Stock market strategy. Morgan Stanley says rising wages will cut into corporate profit margins by more than 700 basis points. AI Tom Bell says his business is fine, but the earth isn't. When growth stocks were running hot, telecom looked boring, but no more. With the broad equity market under pressure in recent months, a telecommunications stock might offer a safe haven. Telecom stocks looked boring when markets were willing to pay anything for growth stocks versus value. Bank of America analyst wrote in a commentary. As growth stores run out of steam and valuations get revised lower, we believe telecom stability looks attractive by comparison. Mm. T-Mobile US. T-Mobile was an established bid and ride story, which it did again in the first quarter. The analyst said T-Mobile has the best 5G network in the US with a multi-year lead over Verizon. Lumen Technologies. Okay, Lumen Technologies, another telecom carrier. Lumen is a high dividend yield of 8.4% risk reduction, the analyst said. Its business is an unrelenting decline, and we see the dividend as unsustainable. Cut in half. Well, there's plenty of upside. There's plenty of upside for PayPal stock, analysts say. The payments app just needs to get its spending under control. That was the assessment of a Mizuho security analyst who reiterated their buy rating on the company in a note Thursday. The team led by managing director Dan Dolev says PayPal has the potential to boost margins by more than 10% if it focuses its energy on its already profitable core checkout business rather than spending heavily on sales and marketing as well as research and development. CrowdStrike posts strong earnings and bullish guidance, but the stock slips. The security software provider CrowdStrike Holdings posted better than expected quarterly financial results and boosted its full-year outlook, but the stock nonetheless is losing ground in after-hours trading. There's no obvious reason security software providers have generally performed well in the recent earnings period. Even in times of economic stress, companies are willing to invest in protecting their businesses and data. Results announced on Thursday from the identity management software company Okta. Hmm. Okay, this is it for today. I'm a bit tired, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye bye.